The new Animal Farm V2 white paper is out, so let's go over it. Welcome to the channel, everybody. My name is Drew at Generation Crypto, and today we're going to be going over the V2 white paper for the Animal Farm. So last week, Forex Shark actually held an AMA with another content creator where he went over kind of the plans for the future of the ecosystem and went into some details of the things that he would like to implement over the course of the next several months. We got a somewhat tentative timeline as well for the launch of all of the projects. A lot of people were anticipating an Animal Farm release a lot more quickly. Now what we're looking at is a potential launch date in about a month or so, according to him during that AMA, and we should have a hard date by the end of this next week. So I'll try to keep you guys updated once that information does become available. So if you'd like to get the information as quickly as possible, you can follow me over on Twitter, or you can catch my videos here on my channel when I do produce videos covering the content. Now, one of the things that was mentioned during the AMA was that the Scratchy protocol is completely 100% complete, but he is waiting till these other things are launched before that gets its own time and place. So we should be seeing an Animal Farm launch in about a month with a specific date by the end of this next week. And then after that, there will be a sequence of several launches after that, both for the faucet as well as the reservoir, and then other protocols such as the Scratchy protocol, the new hacker video game that he went into detail about during the AMA, and a lot more. So if you want to catch the AMA, I will leave a link to that in the video description so you guys can stay up to date. However, one of the big things he did mention is that a new Animal Farm white paper would be released on Monday, which is the time I'm recording this video, and that's what we're going to be going over today. But before we do that, let's go ahead and take a look at the drip charts. So you can see here at the time of recording this video that the price of drip is currently sitting at $7 and about 10 cents and is down about 1% on the day. Now, if we actually go ahead and take a look at the charts here, we can see that it actually started out pretty strong in the beginning of this 24-hour period, but since then has started to slowly sink into a decline. Now, if we actually take a look at the week-long charts here, we actually see a much better trend where there was quite a little bit of an upsurge here. Now, for those that are aware, this is about the time that we had the AMA, and once people heard that we're about a month out from the launch of the Animal Farm and not a couple of days or a week away, I think that took a lot of the excitement away from the price, and people stopped buying in and FOMOing into the project. Hence this little decline after the initial rise. Now, if we actually take a look at the month-long charts, we did have a little bit of a rally and then continued on a downward trend with the project all the way up until basically the chart that we saw on the 7-day period, where we saw this rally in anticipation for the relaunch of the farm. And then of course, after it's announced, it's been on a bit of a decline again. However, we are on a positive trend at a higher price than we were at the beginning of July, which we'll have to see if that continues towards a continuous downward trend or until we'll have a consolidation phase until the launch of the Animal Farm. So now that we've gone over the charts, let's get into what we actually came here today and talk about the white paper for the V2 version of a Animal Farm. So looking at this new revised version 2 of the Animal Farm white paper, it's actually not that big of a white paper. They've got a table of contents here on the second page after the initial title page, and then they've got about one page here that goes over what the Animal Farm basically is and the different assets within the Animal Farm. It has another page where it goes over the new V2 farm mechanics, which is what we're going to be touching on. And then it goes over a couple of the different changes that happened and what they're now referring to as the dog pound. After that, they go over a little bit more of the farm mechanics, which will go over these 3 pages, some of the more farm mechanics with the different auto liquidity pairings. So outside of those 4 or 5 pages, they have a 1-page summary, and then that's pretty much it. So it's got about 4 or 5 pages of information here, and then of course this massive illustration, and that's the end of the white paper. So for those that were expecting some sort of 20 or 30 page long white paper, that's not what we got, but there is still quite a lot of information on here, and we're not going to be spending the entire time going over every single detail. Otherwise, this video could potentially be an hour or longer, and I just don't have the time to go through and do that, and I'm sure that's going to bore a lot of people. So if you're one of those detail-oriented people, I will of course leave a link to the Animal Farm white paper where you yourself can go through and read through all the specific details. Today, I'm just going to highlight some of the major changes from the version 1 to version 2 and some of the points that I find that are key in the new Animal Farm system. And if people want a full, more in-depth version of me going through the entire Animal Farm, once it's on its full launch and we see how it's working mechanically, At that point, if there's an interest and intrigue, then I am more than willing to do a masterclass video like I did for the Drip Network once the animal farm is up and running. That way people can get a better and fuller understanding of what's actually happening within the ecosystem. I just want to wait for the actual full launch, just in case anything is revised and all of my time and efforts into building this massive masterclass end up becoming outdated. So as I mentioned before, if you want to learn about the basics of the animal farm and what happens, that first page of information is your place to go ahead and learn about the different asset classes and the different things that are going to be working within the ecosystem itself. So I'm not going to go ahead and read through those now because I feel like it's going to be a waste of time for most people. So if you're one of those people who want to learn more about that, you're going to want to read this page here. Now, moving on to the V2 farm mechanics. One of the biggest things they mentioned that they've changed is they increased the BUSD generated for the pigpen governance pool dividends. So this is the actual money that you would be earning by having cash flow going through the pigpen. And the cash flow comes from farms and pool deposits and withdrawal fees, taxes on the dog token itself, the piggy bank deposit and withdrawal fees, Dogs of Fortune hacker simulation game, which is going to be coming shortly after launch. It's actually one of the first things they'll be launching after the initial launch of the animal farm before they go through the Drip UI and other protocols that they'll be launching over the next several months. Also coming shortly after that will be the Dogs Roulette gambling. So here they're basically mentioning that they're all about adjusting and improving the cash flow throughout the entire system. Some of their key points they included are that Dog Token has innovative vesting systems that does not lock dogs, but puts a variable tax on dog tokens based on users' loyalty score. So you might be wondering, what the heck is this loyalty score? We're going to be going over that here in just a second, but that's a key thing I want you guys to lean into because we will be going over the details of what that actually looks like. So instead of before, when on the version 1 of Dog Token, you actually put your tokens in and then they were locked away for 6 hours or a lot of period of time where you could not pull them back out or any of your rewards. Now that is completely gone, and instead you would just pay a much higher tax in order to remove those tokens rather than having no access to your tokens during that locked vesting period. They also mentioned a couple of other key things here if you guys want to go ahead and read through those yourself. So let's go ahead and talk about what is changing with the dog pound, and we're going to go over the token loyalty and wallet score that we just previously mentioned. So stakers in the single asset dog token staking pool, so that's ones where you're not putting a liquidity pairing, but you're just staking just the dog tokens. You can choose between standard or auto compounding staking pools. So instead of having to manually go in, claim your rewards, and then restake your tokens, it can put it into a system where they will automatically be taking the tokens you're earning and recompounding them for you into the staking pool for a higher yield. So both earn BNB and increase loyalty score to a lower tax. The tax a holder pays to sell and transact dogs is based on both their token loyalty score and the wallet loyalty score. So the tax is reduced by increasing these scores, and a user earns loyalty points by staking dogs in the single asset dog staking pool, or the dog pound as they like to call it. So what exactly is this token loyalty and wallet score? Well, it says here, according to this, the token loyalty score only applies to a specified amount of tokens which have been staked in the dog's single asset staking contract. The token loyalty score does not apply to dogs which are not staked in dog's single asset staking contract. The token loyalty score reduces the tax on a specified amount of tokens by 0.75% a day. If you stake 1,000 dogs and you're taxed 1,000 dogs, your taxed 1,000 dogs will be decreased over time. As you sell or transact dog tokens, your token loyalty score will reduce. The tax on dogs will not apply to whitelisted contracts, meaning you will be able to use all of the dog's platform contracts without being taxed, including claiming your dogs from the farm, staking them, pairing them with BNB or BUSD. So really the only time you're gonna have to worry about this massive tax and trying to reduce that with the dog token is if you're trying to use your dog tokens to send them to another wallet, you're trying to sell your dog tokens for BUSD or another token, or you're trying to use them in some other protocol that is not a part of the official ecosystem within the animal farm itself. So you can actually build up your wallet loyalty score to decrease taxes on all dog transactions from a specified wallet for the life of that particular wallet. So before we were talking about the token loyalty rewards, and this is only for the dog pound, the single asset staking pool, that you'll have to worry about the token loyalty, whereas your wallet loyalty score is your entire wallet and how it interacts with the entire dog ecosystem. And so to decrease the tax on all dogs transacted from that specific wallet for the life of that wallet, the wallet loyalty score builds up slowly over time. It's 2% monthly that you earn for participating within the ecosystem, and ensures that investors who have been long-term supporters of the protocol start off with a reduced tax whenever they accumulate new dog tokens. Wallet loyalty score rewards are permanent and can decrease overall tax on dogs by a maximum of 30%. So there is eventual max peak out at 30%. So if you're earning 2% every single month at a max of 30%, that means after 15 months, you'll hit the total max for that wallet loyalty. So which is a year and about 3 months. This is placed on top of your token loyalty score, allowing our most loyal members to reduce their tax all the way down to 6% much faster. So again, the other one applied to your assets and what happens in the single asset staking or the dog pound. That is how you'll earn those reduced taxes, is by participating by the single asset staking with dog tokens, where you can earn 0.75% a day lower taxes, and then your overall wallet gets a reduction of 2% for just participating in the system every single month, up to 30%. So that's how you'll be able to reduce those taxes substantially and get down to a much lower tax on any transactions on dog token when you sell or migrate to another wallet. Here they kind of go over what the benefits are of the innovative vesting mechanics that they built. Without having to read through this entire thing here, they're basically claiming that by capping out the loyalty rewards and doing this new tax system, that it's going to bring more funds into the ecosystem and be a more intelligent way to basically punish those paper hands while rewarding those that are loyal to the ecosystem and actually adding into the ecosystem itself, rather than just trying to extract as quickly as possible. So here it actually goes over the dog token itself. So it now has a variable tax of 6% all the way up to 90%, which is a pretty hefty tax. 3% of the tax on dogs is burned permanently, removed from circulation. The remaining tax is swapped for BNB and BUSD, then paid out as a dividend in the single asset dogs staking pool, the dog pound, and the pig pen. So that is a way that you can earn tokens. So because of the high taxes, it actually means when you're staking into the single asset, you're going to earn a lot more tokens back, is kind of the benefit there. So 2/3 of the tax being swapped for BNB is sent to the dog pound, and then 1/3 will actually go towards the pig pen rewards. And we've kind of already gone over the taxes only go against you when you're trying to do a transaction to another wallet, you're selling the dog tokens, or you transact with a non-native staking contract. So unstaking, restaking, or moving your tokens around within the ecosystem is not going to cause you to be hit with these massive taxes. It's only when you leave the ecosystem itself that you're going to have to worry about these taxes. So by participating in the system, those taxes are going to lower over time. So if you participate over that 15-month period, you could be taxed as little as just 6% when you go to finally cash out your rewards and sell the dog tokens that you've been staking and earning. And we've kind of already gone over the benefit of auto compounding. If you want to go ahead and read this again, go back and refer to the white paper in your own time. They've also updated the burn mechanism. So they implemented a burn mechanism that reduces the total supply in real time while the tokens are being transacted, as opposed to sending the tokens to a burn address. This mechanic actually removes the tokens from the total supply and to more accurately display data about our token on sites such as CoinMarketCap and DEX tools. So this means that the actual supply will show on these third-party systems as reduced, rather than having the exact same supply and then just having to somehow keep track of the burn wallet as a separate metric. It just makes things a little bit more simple. So one thing to note here, in the V1 Animal Farm, the 3% tax on dog transactions, which was allocated to provide and locked BUSD liquidity for the dog tokens on PancakeSwap, would first send the dogs derived from the 3% tax to the liquidity helper contract. Now, 25% of all deposit fees generated from the Animal Farm stake are converted to BUSD and sent to that same liquidity helper contract. When the amount of BUSD on the contract goes over a specific threshold, the liquidity helper contract that pairs the BUSD and dog tokens held by the liquidity helper contract, adding the dog BUSD liquidity to PancakeSwap, where it is then locked. This increases locked liquidity, not only allows for a deeper liquidity pool to help offset the pressure of selling, but it raises the price floor of the dog tokens and increases the security of the protocol, but it also further decentralizes control of the asset. So this basically is a way to keep stability within the prices from massive sell-offs and to bring a stronger base to the liquidity pool itself. I know that can sound kind of confusing, but maybe down the road we can do an illustrative video to kind of show this rather than just read this. And if you'd like to learn more about the system, you guys are more than welcome to read through the rest of this. The last thing we're going to touch on today, because I don't want this video to get too long, is this new one-page summary of the animal farm for those that are visual learners. So as you guys can see here up in the top left corner, these are your farms. Now your farms are your liquidity pool pairings. So you'll get a liquidity pool pairing token of any one of these different pairings, and you'll be able to stake those in the animal farm ecosystem, and doing so will earn you dog tokens. Now, the difference between that and pools is that the pools are single assets. So it's not a liquidity pool pairing that's going to be used for trading, but rather just locking up single assets of one of these 5 different assets that are displayed here that will then earn you dog tokens. So you might be wondering, if all of this is going now towards dog tokens, how do I earn pig tokens and get into the piggy bank? Well, that is a good question, because the answer to that is either through a Drip BUSD pairing, bringing in the Drip protocol into the ecosystem, or by staking dog BUSD liquidity pool pairings or dogs WBNB liquidity pool pairings in order to earn pig tokens. Now, we've gone a lot over what the dog pound is, but by staking in the dog pound, you will actually earn BNB dividends. That's also how you will be earning those loyalty scores in order to reduce the overall taxes on the dog tokens themselves. Now, just looking at this alone, it looks like you might want to participate in any of these, either the farms or the pools, but you're especially going to want to participate at least to a small degree in the dog pound in order to reduce your taxes on the ecosystem if you ever decide to sell your dog tokens in the future. Now, of course, you can use the Drip Liberation contract in order to get the Drip BUSD pairing and do so without a 10% tax. And of course, you can also use the Drip Garden to earn and build into the ecosystem in and of itself. So the piggy bank here is actually how you can do liquidity pool pairings for the piggy bank. And then the pig pen is kind of the ultimate end goal for a lot of people, where you'll stake your pig tokens to earn BUSD and pig dividends by participating in that pool and locking up your pigs in the pig pen. So I hope this visual representation will give a bit of a better understanding of the entire ecosystem within the animal farm. And if you guys would like more deep dives down the road, please let me know, and I would love to go ahead and do that in the future once the farm is at full launch, and we could also potentially talk some different strategies on how you guys can earn at the quickest rate and potentially lower your taxes on the dog token as fast as possible. I'm curious to hear if any of you guys have already started to kind of craft together some different game plans on what you expect to do when the animal farm fully launches. Are you guys going to just be going all in on pig tokens and going into the piggy bank and into the pig pen, or are you guys going to play the game with a dog token and stake in the multiple different pools and farms in order to earn through the ecosystem that way? I'd love to hear your strategies and continue the conversation down in the comment section down below. If you've come this far into the video, guys, please don't forget to leave a like, as it does help me with YouTube algorithm, and of course spread this video out so that more people can learn about and understand what is going on in the animal farm. If you're new to the animal farm and Drip ecosystem, my buddy links for everything, including the Drip Faucet contracts as well as the animal farm referral system, will be in the video description as well. If you're new to my channel, don't forget to subscribe and click the notification bell so you can be notified when I produce new content. Thanks again, guys, for sticking with me through yet another video, and I'll catch you all in the next one.